So I'm back with the cooking video. Today I will be making a chopped cheese with ground turkey instead of ground beef. I've been seeing this recipe several places, and I do eat ground beef, but if any recipes call for ground beef, like spaghetti or tacos, I prefer to use ground turkey. It's personal preference. I just think it tastes better, honestly, and also it's quote unquote healthier. So that's that. But so I just put my raw meat in the pan, cook it on medium. I poured a little bit of oil into the pan because this was lean meat. It didn't have much fat in it. So here you see me just chopping up the meat, making sure that it's chopped up because I don't want to be chopping it up once it's done. Like, I want to have it chopped up before it starts to brown and whatnot. So yeah, there's that. Now I will be seasoning the meat with some Tony Chachere's. I think I said that right. You can use as much of that as you like because that specific kind had no salt in it, so it won't be salty if you use a lot of it. I'm also using garlic powder and onion powder, and then I'm also going to use a little bit of lemon pepper, just because I like that little zesty taste to it, and it also makes it really flavorful. Keep in mind, none of these seasonings really have salt in them, so you can use as much as you like. It's fine, it won't be salty. Like I said, it didn't have much fat in the meat, so I wanted to add a little bit of water to it so that it doesn't burn quickly and so that it does have just a little bit of moisture to it. Here you see me preheating my oven for the Hawaiian rolls. We will be using Hawaiian rolls, as these are sliders today, so yeah, I'm gonna use that. I wanted to add a little bit of garlic into my meat mixture as well, but I wanted to add it later on because I didn't want the garlic to burn while I was cooking my meat. So there you saw me adding the garlic, and you see me making that face is because I forgot to add the bell pepper and onion. I forgot to saute them before I started cooking. Y'all, I was all over the place with this meal, but hey, we got it done. So anyway, here you see me cutting up the bell pepper. I did wash it off of camera, so I'm just going to take the top off of it. And so let's take the seeds out of it. And then once I take the seeds out of it, I'm just going to chop it up regularly. And then I'm also going to do the same for the onion. So I'm going to, when I'm done cutting up the bell pepper, I'm going to take the onion and cut it up as well after I peel it and all that good stuff. And I did just use one bell pepper. I did only use the yellow one because I couldn't find the red one or the green ones in the store. Shout out to my mama for helping me look for the bell pepper because I was just so lost in the grocery store. I'm like, do they not have no bell peppers? And y'all, Walmart gotta do better because they only had the yellow one. Like, do I need to start shopping at Publix or something? I don't know, I'm getting off topic. But anyway, yeah, so I'm chopping up the bell pepper. I also set my meat to the side because by this point, once I had realized I forgot the bell pepper and onion, the meat was basically done. So I kept the stove on just for a little bit because I knew I was going to have to simmer these vegetables. So I moved my meat to my back eye. Again, you see my oven is preheated to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. So I set my waist off to the side, like some pieces that just don't look right to me. I don't know. I probably look like I waste a lot of stuff, but y'all, I promise I don't. Like, some stuff just don't be looking right to me, and I'm not gonna do it. But anyway, yeah. So I'm taking my chopped up bell pepper and putting it in the pan. Instead of using, y'all, because I ain't got no butter either. Like, I don't know what I was thinking while I was grocery shopping, but I just didn't shop everything like I was supposed to. But anyway, I'm gonna use a little bit of olive oil to saute these vegetables. And I'm not going to use any seasonings on them because the meat is already seasoned enough. As you can see that I use seasoning, even though it don't have salt on it, it's still seasoned enough. I'm just going to use a little bit of crushed red pepper on my bell pepper and onion. So again, here you see I have the onion, so I'm going to chop it up as well. I think I only used half an onion. I didn't use a full one just because I had already used onion powder, and yeah, it just won't make sense. I mean, you could, but yeah, whatever. And as you can see, I'm cutting around the core of the onion because as I learned a few years ago, the core, as you see me showing there, that's the part that makes you cry when you're cutting the onion. So if you leave that part alone and don't cut it, you won't cry. So your girl was onto something when I was cutting this onion, because this onion cutting was very good. I did not cry. So yeah, I'm just chopping up the onion in small pieces, just like I did the bell pepper, and then I am going to put that over in the pan as well. And so again, there is my olive oil, so I poured that in the pan. I'm going to add, I already added my onion. Yes, I did that. So now I'm just going to stir them up together to make sure they all get some love with the olive oil. I am going to take my top, because I don't have a top for this pan. Don't do too much in the comments. I'm going to take my top from the turkey and put it on top of the onions and bell peppers, just so they can cook a little bit faster, because I don't want my meat to get too cold. And for the rest of the onion that I did not use, I'm going to place it in a container and put it in the freezer for another meal. I did add a little bit of salt, since I didn't cook with any salt in the turkey. And then, as you see, before the salt, I added some crushed red pepper. So I made sure that was sauteed good enough. Added the lid back on, stirred it up, kept stirring, kept an eye on it. Turned my eye off, and then I placed the onions and bell peppers, once they were soft, into the ground turkey and stirred that all up together. And so that's what I'm doing here. And yes, I'm cooking with a plastic fork. Who gonna check me? Nobody. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna stir all of that up together and let that come back to a warm state, because I did have it off of that eye for a minute, just because I was sauteing the bell pepper and onion. I'm gonna add some cheese, and then what I tried to do was melt the cheese, y'all, but I was so hungry I didn't really have time for it to wait. So you will see me put the top back on there and think that I'm finna let it like melt or whatever. But y'all, I didn't really have time for that. So you're gonna see me take the top off and stir it all up to make sure that it's melted and incorporated, because like mama say, a watch pot don't boil, and if you stand there and wait for that cheese to boil, it's not boil, but melt, is not gonna melt either. I also added some Parmesan cheese, and as you can see, like I said, I didn't have the patience to wait for that cheese to melt, so I'm gonna stir it in to make sure it's melted into the meat. So here I am just stirring to make sure that all of that cheese is melted, and it's looking really, really good. I want to make sure it's melted all the way through. And then I already cut my sliders off camera, so I scooped the meat out of the pan onto the bread, bottom half of the bread, and then I also added more cheese on top, so that's the shredded cheese that you see, and then I also add a little bit more Parmesan on top, and then I put the top part of the rolls on, and then I also used just a dab of olive oil, because I don't have a butter. Don't do too much in the comments, I didn't have no butter. So I added just a little bit of olive oil, some crushed red pepper on top, put it in the oven at 300 until the cheese was melted in the sliders. I cut my air fryer on, because I'm not about to be frying these french fries. Like I said, I'm ready to cook and I need them done now. I don't have time for no grease to get hot, no, none of that. So I preheated my air fryer on the fry setting, and now you see me adding the fries in. And then once I get those added in, those are good and cooking. The sliders are in the oven, getting all ooey gooey with the cheese and melting, and doing their thing, doing what they do. By the time the fries are ready, it was time for the sliders to come out, and then here is what the sliders look like. And here you have chopped cheese turkey sliders.